This is a mission I like to call No Pain, No Gain. Play along with me as I go through each step. The focus of this game is taking wounds during combat and healing. To win the game, you'll need to defeat 2 marauding orcs and return to the magical glade before 1 round is over. The game should take about 10 to 15 minutes. Before we begin, if you need help playing Mage Knight, make sure you go to the homepage of my channel and check out the other videos. If you don't already know the basics of playing Mage Knight, you should start by watching the How to Play videos first. If you need help while you're playing, you should watch the quick review videos as they're needed. Finally, this video is intended to guide you through the setup, so pause it at any point to set things up as needed. Okay, so let's get started. Here's what you'll need to play. We'll assume that you're playing solo, so you'll need the cards for your hero and the dummy player. You won't need the shield tokens, the skill tokens or cards, the turn tokens, and you don't really need the command tokens, but you can use them if it helps you remember the armor and hand limit. You'll need the daytime tactic cards, the wound cards, the day-night board, all of the mana dice and tokens, and the rule book. The back of the rule book gives an excellent play summary and shows you the enemy abilities. The tiles that you need for this minigame are tiles A, 1, and 2. Finally, you'll need 2 randomly chosen orc tiles. Place them on the swords on the tiles. Unless you're very familiar with combat, do not use the orc that has the summons icon. Okay, so here are the rules for playing. You'll only be moving and attacking orcs, so there's no other gameplay. Choose the tactic cards at random, and range attacks and siege attacks are not allowed, nor are blocks. You are, however, allowed to use range attacks during the normal attack phase. These are the rewards. You get a gold medal if you defeat 2 orcs and return to the magical glade with no wounds. You get a silver medal if you defeat the 2 orcs and return to the magical glade, even if you have some wounds. You get a bronze medal if you defeat the 2 orcs. And you fail if you fail to defeat 2 orcs. If you want to try some more advanced options, you can try playing at night. You can include more tiles and adjust the time as needed. And you can keep track of fame and reputation. But this is your experience, so customize it how you'd like. Alright, you should give it a go and see how it works out. If you need more help, check out the Mage Knight quick review videos. The rest of the video walks you through the specifics of this minigame. If you already know how to play Mage Knight, you can stop the video now and just have fun playing. If you need the extra help or just want to play along, just keep watching. Pause and rewind as needed. If you're not already familiar with movement and basic combat, you should look at those videos. You will start on the portal. Continue to take turns until you have enough movement points to move into the magical glade and enough attack points to defeat the enemy. When you're ready, move into the magical glade. For your action, you will challenge the orcs. Because you're not using a range or siege attack, skip that phase, and because you're not blocking, skip that phase and go directly to assign damage. The damage is equal to the enemy's attack value divided by your armor rounded up. In this case, the enemy's attack value is 4. Since you're at level 1, your armor value is 2. So for this example, the hero suffers 2 damage, and so you take 2 wounds into your hand. Now move to the attack phase. You defeat the enemy if your attack value is equal to or greater than the enemy's armor value. Of course, you cannot play wound cards sideways as any kind of action card. Now that you have defeated the orcs, move to the end of turn phase. If you're fighting a particularly difficult enemy, you can get knocked out. A knockout is when you receive more damage assigned to your hero than the total number of unmodified hand limit. So for example, in this case I have 5. If I receive at least 5 wounds into my hand, then I'm knocked out. I will keep these wounds in my hand, and then I must discard all my non-wound cards. This means I will not be able to draw any more cards into my hand, and I must rest on the next turn. Resting is a type of turn that I can take in which I don't do any movement or any kind of combat or interaction. All I am doing is resting. And in that case, what I would do is I discard one non-wound card into my discard pile and any number of wound cards. So I could discard these wound cards. Now notice, since they're in my discard pile, they will eventually, in other rounds, they will come back, but I can at least get them out of my hand. Now, even though I cannot move or interact with characters or fight, I can play cards that allow healing or skills that allow healing. Now, suppose I've got nothing but wound cards in my hand, and I am at my hand limit. In this case, I can't actually rest because I don't have a non-wound card that I can discard. So this is a situation called exhaustion, so I am fully exhausted. In that case, I need to show all the other players that I have nothing but wound cards in my hand. So when I'm fully exhausted, all I can do is discard one wound card. Now at the end of the turn, I will be able to draw a card, and that can be discarded in the next turn. But I can't move, I can't interact with other characters. But if I have a unit that has special healing, and if I'm on a healing location on the map, and we'll talk about that in another second, then you can do those, but you can't actually do any actions from your hand. Suppose you had two wound cards in your hand. If you drew this card, the Tranquility card, you could heal one, or if you have green mana, you can heal two. So in healing, you would take your card out of your hand and put it back into the wound stack. Now, magical glaives are really nice because if you end your turn on the magical glaive, you can get rid of wounds. Now, that's not exactly healing, but it's even better in some senses. So, for example, if I'm healing, I can only remove wounds from my hand. I can't remove them from the discard pile. They can get into the discard pile because of poison or because of resting. So if I'm at a magical glade, I can actually get rid of a wound card from my discard pile. So that's a really nice thing, one per turn. So if you get to the place where you're ready to rest, you might really want to make sure you move to the magical glade and just rest there, and you can take advantage of that even if you are exhausted. Now that you understand about taking wounds into your hand and how to heal, try to defeat the other orc and make it back to the magical glade before your turn is over. Okay, that's it. I hope that was helpful and you enjoyed playing. If you liked the video, please click on the like icon. You can go to my homepage and check out other videos that you might be interested in. And of course you can subscribe to keep up with other videos as I post them. Alright, see you next time.